Hello, Ramon. How are you this fine Monday morning?
Hi, Mindy Hahn. Good morning. Welcome to another week, everyone, of the Morning Steam. This is our Wednesday and a half or something like that. But
Ultimately.
Monday, and we got more viewers here going to be joining us in just a moment as we get started. We'll get everyone a few moments to kind of stroll in as we get on the air and the notifications go out and all that, Mindy. But we do have some of our regulars starting to come in as we start the week with uh, more multi-sport handicapping. That's what we do here on the Morning Steam. Your first look at the daily betting card with Mindy Hahn and I. Mindy, before we maybe get started and maybe go over the website and see who's hot and who's doing what today. NFL yesterday, some great results, some crazy results, some incredible games, some incredible plays. No doubt about it. Maybe there's been more of a shift of power. Obviously, the a big game in the morning slate. Everyone's talking about it, and great game in the afternoon as well. And the night game had the intrigue as well. Just a real good game. Even that morning game. Was a fun game. So we saw the incredible atmosphere of that one. Germany is
Right.
guaranteed to get more NFL games. So, but what a day! What a day, man! Just some great action in the NFL. There was other stuff too, but
Yeah, especially when we were like expecting more of those under games. Everything pretty much went over. Tons of scoring, a whole bunch of craziness that happened there as well. You had the great game with the Packers and the Cowboys. Not saying that we would have necessarily expected that one to kind of go the distance there. But hey, again, Green Bay finally got back to the run game, like we've been talking about. Why haven't they been doing it? And here they go. And look, success.
yeah, it almost backfired. And you saw Aaron say, we should run the ball right there. Our running game was working good, and he was upset for just a moment there. But what a game that was, Mindy, for the Packers to kind of resurrect themselves a little bit. And, Dallas certainly isn't no problem. I mean, that's a tough game and a tough atmosphere. And, if anything, Green Bay stays alive. But Mindy, the game with Minnesota and
Right?
Buffalo, yeah, the referees got involved a little bit. But, man, the play of the year with
Fourth and
Jefferson, the
18.
play of Cousins. I mean, give this guy some credit. Now a Coach of the Year candidate, if not the Coach of the Year, if the season ended right now, in former San Diego State Aztec Kevin O'Connell.
That's
But
right. Make sure you
Buffalo,
get in
Buffalo, maybe a few issues here. Allen was probably playing hurt, may have affected him there, but now they have some turnover issues. So there's kind of question mark. They're still favored, but they're starting to slip in the standings a little bit. I don't think anybody's too concerned that Buffalo can resurrect itself, but now you could
there.
be having to go into Kansas City instead of hosting Kansas City. It was an important game, so Allen felt the need to play, but a great performance by the Vikings. Their stock is through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, finally getting it done, making less errors. But again, that Buffalo defense kind of surprised me at all to let them get back in the game after being up like 17, something like that. I mean, it was just it was just wild. A lot of offense, a lot of action, a lot of mishaps in that game. Instead of all you had to do is knock that ball away rather than trying to say intercept it or something. But hindsight's always best as well, right? But yeah, Chiefs are playing pretty well. It looks like they might be without Smith Schuster since he took a bad shot to the head there. So that might hinder them. But look at Tony stepping up right away, first game out. I like where they look like, where they're headed, where they look pretty good yesterday. I know they're playing only the Jaguars, but still got to get it done.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And also some other interesting result. We saw the night game. You and I, we had a winner on that game with the Chargers, and
Right?
maybe went according to script. I mean, we didn't
100%.
necessarily know that. And yeah, San Francisco did have a chance maybe to get that money, but again, it's the undermanned Chargers and Herbert who can. It seems like do it with anybody. Like I said, I think I named one of their receivers yesterday, but that's because who knows who these guys even are? They just run around with single digits, and
Right.
you don't know which guy it is that caught the ball, but you know which guy is throwing it. So the Niners. I think people are going to have their question marks, but I think if they continue to win, it's hard to question what they're doing. Period. So good
Well, yeah,
winner
I think
there.
they're still a little bit green yet too, with the change in personnel, folks still being injured. You know what I mean? So I just think they're going to get there too. Um, you know, I think they look pretty good. I don't see any problems with that 49ers team. And again, we talked about the Chargers. They're just scrappy. They usually find ways to win.
And so we had some good results yesterday. I thought on the show. I gave out Tennessee here. They're 7-0 now against the
Right?
spread. I mean, they're just a money making
That's what we kept
machine.
on saying,
Uh,
like, why is that spread only 3? Well, I guess Denver hung in there, kept it close for a while, but yeah.
You won our head-to-head matchup, Mindy, with the Arizona Rams game, as you had the total over, and I said under, and that one turned out to be. Again, you talk about these quarterbacks. Are they going to play? Are they not going to play? The NFL kind of said, sports books, national sports books, big companies say we're partners with the NFL. Well, it looks like the NFL isn't doing their
They're
fair share of informing those bookmakers. They got almost hung out to dry on some of these games by not having the information, especially in that game between Buffalo and Minnesota. They
right.
ended up, offering the public a huge middle because the information was unclear. And no, might not be the here nor there because maybe it was up to Allen whether he was going to play. But again, like I said, supposed to be partners. So also, I gave out Miami here on the show. Another great performance for Tua. Where do you rank him right now?
Oh, geez. I would say probably about fifth. I would say I would still put him behind, the whole Mahomes, Hertz, Allen. I kind of like where Cousins is, and I hate saying that out loud. But I mean, I'm thinking about fifth right now. Brady's kind of making his way. You could say maybe Gino. So he's I think right up there in the top, if you ask me.
I had a premium winner on the Steelers. They got it done against
That was
Minnesota.
awesome.
Look over the website, tonyspicks.com. India had some yesterday. You see, it was going to be a tough day for our crew
It
there
was a tough day
yesterday.
for lots of
But
folks. Yeah.
Brandon smashing it again. He had a hot day there to keep it rolling right now. The hottest capper over the last 7 days is our newest handicapper, Brandon. And he had videos up there all week you could have checked out. I'm giving a little bit back, but still on top of some of that. You see some of the best bets today in there with Tiffany, who's been hot. Nick is, of course, always hot. The GM has put together some winning days this weekend. I've got a early best bet there on an NHL game. Daniel,
Yeah, what
Tony.
happened to the Kraken? Like I said, it was the first time I got to watch them and the Jets play. And with seconds left, gave up a goal. Oh man, that was a heartbreaker there, Ramon.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Mindy. Yesterday in the NHL, uh, also we had NBA action as well. But NHL, we had of course, if you remember, gave out Dallas as a premium for us on the show. We both agreed there, and the Stars took care of business against Philly. You had that puck line winner on San Jose yesterday. Mindy as well, and also we came through. I think you had the over in Vancouver and Boston. I think we might have given out at least one winner in every
In each
NHL
of those
game.
games, yeah.
Might have been some splits there, but you gave out the under in Arizona and the Rangers, and that came through as well. And so we did have some NHL winners yesterday, Mindy, no doubt about it. So click on the All Cappers tab over at Tony's Picks to get signed up. There you'll see all of our handicappers and their profiles. You can click on their page and see their previous records. Mindy, I'm sure you have some packages locked and loaded, ready for a crazy card today, or you still want to take a look?
No, I mean they're not in there as of yet. So I needed to go ahead and revamp some of those numbers or his late lines on the Warriors, stuff like that. So I was just kind of waiting around a little bit here. So I'll be putting mine in right after the show today, just because they just weren't really available. So I know we're working on getting additional lines, put in here pretty soon on Tony's website.
Over on our premium picks tab, you'll find all of our best bets as we just covered, but plus our $15 pick. That's what I'm offering tonight on
All
that
right.
early NHL game. Note the start time there
Yeah.
on that game, and the GM also. He's got his $15 play in the NFL. Daniel with the NFL. Collins with the. These guys are giving away the NFL like it's the cheapest product on the board, but that's okay with tonight's matchup. It's a pretty big spread. We'll talk about that game. We'll also talk about uh, uh, college basketball tonight. You have a pretty big selection for us tonight. NBA basketball, hockey as well, and we're going to kick off our college football coverage for mostly the MACtion. And I know San Diego State's playing on Friday. I want to talk to you about San Diego State because they're hot and they're bowl
Yeah.
eligible.
All
Mindy, they
right.
made it somehow after all of my frustration. San Diego State going to be going back to a bowl once again. I don't think they'll be left out. They might even finish with a seventh win because they're favored in the next game, even though it's going to be tough. But we'll talk about that. So take a look at our handicapper leaderboard, see who's hot. You can click on the capper that best fits your needs today. You might take a look at the 3-packs and see what everybody's got for today. You see Collins with a 3-pack today, one from each sport. And Ben's got 2 in the NBA and 1 in the NFL. We also, if I could mention the 2-for-1 capper promotion, we don't touch on that enough, but you can get 2 of our cappers for half price on the second capper. So it's basically 1.5 payment for 2 full cappers. You get volume plays like Mindy and I. You get lots of action
Right.
throughout the week over at Tony'sPicks.com. So, all right, we covered it, I think, there as far as that's concerned. Mindy, also, I mentioned the NFL and I mentioned the hockey, but also we had other winners yesterday as well
Yeah.
here on the show. You gave out the over in Oakland and in OKC and the Knicks, and I think it was 100 to 190 at halftime, or at least it seemed
Yeah.
like it. And we had a winner also, premium winner for us, a consensus pick, Memphis and Washington under. I also gave out Washington as a premium play.
Nice.
Also, we had winner yesterday in that Brooklyn Lakers game where we said go over. The line had dipped a little bit too much. So, how'd your premiums do? I came up like most on that leaderboard in the red a little bit.
Well, geez, I did great in the NBA and in the NHL, but I failed miserably in the NFL. So just couldn't hit those over unders. I had 4 or 5 of those, was just on opposite sides. And then so had that winner with Tennessee in there. Had the Bears. They couldn't quite pull it out. Thought they were gonna get it done. But again, not too bad of a day overall. Just or the National Football League was a little tough yesterday.
All right, well, we'll get back at it with Monday Night Football tonight. Just a few more winners I want to mention yesterday on the show, Mindy, because there were quite a few winners, I must say. But I had the over in that Colorado-Tennessee game in college basketball. We gave out a consensus winner with Towson over
Yeah,
Penn.
that
I thought that was
nice
a
one.
pretty nice game for us. We swept the side in total in the North Texas St. Mary's game. You gave out St. Mary's, and I gave out the total under in that one. So, there were winners yesterday. You also gave out Fullerton over Vermont. So, plenty of winners yesterday here on the show. So, appreciate everyone's comments, and let's get to do some winning here today. I don't want to take
All
up too much
right,
time
ready to go.
blowing smoke up up your internet here, but
The good
just
thing
want to
is
talk
you can
about.
always start a new streak today, Ramon. Right?
Right, right. I mean,
Here we go.
maybe I'm just trying to make myself feel better because, yeah, I did go with a couple losers on that early. I thought Buffalo would be
Yeah,
the
we both had
side.
Buffalo. I saw that. Yeah. and they
Yep, and
showed
I have
up.
the Bears too, and right there mentioning the Bears, 2 division winners in a row. Matt came in there and also talking about these teams blowing leads, but the NFL, it is exciting, no doubt about it. And the team's not out of it, especially what we saw with Green Bay last night, and the whole storyline and everything with McCarthy coming in. So let's get ready. We got a lot of games to cover. And I think you're going to be happy with Mindy's college basketball coverage today as we start to step it up a little bit here.
Yeah, get some
Moving.
good games tomorrow, right? Some good top 5 actions.
Appreciate everyone in the comments. I think everyone's here ready to get rolling and crush this Cowboy. Yeah, I'm
Right.
not worried, about Dallas too much, but Green Bay a little bit better. He's finding receivers now. We saw their guys. Dobbs was now. Rodgers found another.
Ramon, come back, Ramon, come back. Buffering just a little bit, I think.
They're hard to get.
Oh,
Stay tuned. Here I am. Am I back, Mindy?
You're back. You're back.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that could happen again. But no. Is that you, Richie? All right.
Oh, maybe still buffering a little bit. A little bit, maybe.
Let's get started.
Oh, there you go.
Richie?
Kind of
Richie?
come back a little bit.
Okay. I might log off and log back on, as Tony likes to say. But maybe we'll at least introduce this game in case something happens. You can keep it rolling, Mindy, with the Commanders and the Eagles. Monday Night Football. It's always great to be in division here. And Washington and Philly. Philly's still hot. What can you say about them? But Washington, they're playing pretty decent, those Commanders right now. Probably their best football of the season, maybe. We know that Wentz is going to be out, but I think everybody likes Heineke better anyways.
Right. It seems that way, doesn't it? I think the Eagles here, they're definitely going to keep this unbeaten streak alive. Washington's not going to be the one here to get it done, but I just don't think that they can cover the points here today. Commanders played the Vikings really close last week, breaking their 3-game win streak. Heineke, he's completing 63% of his pass, had maybe a little luck on his side with that crazy touchdown pass to Samuel. Thinking, with the referee basically taking out the Vikings defenders there, but I don't know. Washington's defense also 10th in the league, only allowing 113 yards on the ground. I think the Eagles, I think they're going to play tough, but I'm going to take Washington plus the 10.5 here today.
All right. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Like I said, Washington 3-0-1 against the spread those in the last 4 games, Mindy. I mean, we see see where Philadelphia, right? They didn't get the money against Houston last week, laying 14 points, right? So,
right.
And now, here's over the last 3 years in this series, 24-14, 27-17 here last year. So another one was a very similar score. I should say my notes. I just read it wrong, Mindy. But the last 3 meetings is really an average score of about 24-14, and the last year it was 27-17 in the meeting here in Philadelphia. So the last 3, Philly has won in just a reasonable score. A little bit. They did win last year's the other game at Washington by margin. So maybe at home, but yeah, laying this big points. I'm not necessarily in favor of laying points here with Philly in this one. And, I like the Washington pick here by you. I think that kind of is the way to go. So I think I'm going to agree. I'm going to take a side with you here. I'm going to take Washington. I think I'm going to have a premium on the total in this game. And I think it's safe to say that Washington might be able to get this money here. Monday night, they're playing a little bit better. Is Philly worthy of covering double digits? So let's take Washington. Yeah, let's take Washington. It looks like that's what the consensus in the chat. I'm seeing 2-0. Seeing 2 for Washington. My count says nobody's even hearing the thing, so I hope that's wrong. I hope you guys are still there. Am I still on with you, Mindy?
Yeah, my count shows none as well. So yeah,
All right.
I don't know why it's doing that because I even like
Are you
closed it
guys
out
there?
and then put it back in.
We'll leave right now if you don't. Richie. All right, let's go. Let's move on. The NBA. I'm sure it's working fine. It must be
Losing viewers right and left everywhere.
Well, there you go. You called it. All right. See,
Yeah.
there they are. They're in. Just an algorithm issue because obviously, at least you're here. At least you're here, Matt. If Matt's here, there's at least 10 people here. So.
Right.
All right, Mindy, let's kick off our coverage in the NBA on Monday. It's a pretty decent card here, I think. Start with this one Charlotte and Orlando. These lines that I have originally, I'll be changing them on the fly here as we go along with any updates. Gerardo, good morning to you. We got viewers here, Mindy. Just ignore the zero. I was scared there that someone had a premonition and they were right. So. All right, now just to start us off, let's get the comment from Maurice because he's talking about the Magic here. So let's put that up, and then you can get to handicapping. But that's his top play today: Orlando Magic at home against Charlotte. So
10 bets in 10 days. Everything
there you go.
in each
That
bet.
sounds like the YouTube show should be done.
So my third best bet is the Magic. Is that what it is? Oh goodness! I tend to like the Hornets. I like the Hornets, Ramon. What's up with me? Am I the anti NBAer today?
No.
Hornets 3-1 versus the Magic on the road over the last two seasons. Hornets here, averaging 103 points a game in their last 5. Hornets 15-7 against the spread in the last 22 between these two. I'm taking the Hornets. I feel like the anti NBAer today.
Yeah, maybe you are, but that's okay. I mean, I get it. I mean, look, Orlando, they are just 6-1 against the spread. We know that Ben Caro is going to be out. That's a big deal, right? I mean, he's one of the best looking players in the NBA, much less a rookie, right? I mean, we love this guy so far, but we'll mention Orlando 6-1 against the spread at home this season. Charlotte 2-7-1 against the spread in their last 10. I don't think I can get involved with you in this one, Mindy, on that one. Charlotte 3-7 to the under in their last 10, but 6-2 to the over on the road. And you see the move here. I just want to update the line. I don't think the spread has changed much, Mindy. In fact, 1.5. But this total, I'm going to move it right now and give myself a little bit tougher of a line to go against here because the move is on the over and I'm here on the show live. I'm giving out the over even at 223. That's going to be my free pick on the show in this
and that's
one.
Why they play the game.
High score. Yep. And Scotch comes in talking about the first meeting that Orlando got the money, he said. So, all right, Mindy's on Charlotte. I'm on Orlando. We're off and running in the NBA. Let's continue on with Toronto going up against Detroit. Let's see if we got any change here. I'm showing Toronto 5.5 total, 220.5.
Yeah, Pistons here averaging 111 points a game over the last 4. Raptors 107. Raptors 0-6 against the spread. The last 6 meeting between these teams. Pistons are 5-2 in the last 7, Monday games here as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Pistons here versus the Raptors and hope the Raptors can continue with that 0-6 against the spread trend. I'll take the Pistons plus 5.5.
All right, Mindy says take the Pistons on the road. That's fine. Laying a little bit of a increased number. I'm showing one opener that came in as low as 4.5 here. So Detroit 4-7-1 against the spread as an underdog. Toronto has failed 4 straight, but Detroit has lost 3 in a row. So Also, Cunningham, he's out. Siakam, he's still out as well in this one, Mindy. I'm going to have to think that this one probably might be headed for an under the way I see it here in this one. Not sure I'm totally on board yet. I think Toronto is going to be my side. But I don't want to necessarily lay these points on the road. I really want to consider it now that you mentioned it, because I did see that Toronto did take the steam, and it looks like pretty solid steam to go up from 4.5 to 5.5, but as a road favorite. And Orlando, Detroit, not great as a dog. But Toronto not covering. I'm going to have to go on the under in this one. I'm going to go under 220.5. So Mindy has Toronto. Get a look into my handicapping mind right there in a game that I don't know, not too crazy on right there. But nonetheless, we're on the record. Take a look next in Phoenix and Miami, and I'm showing Miami here. Yeah, 1.5 point favorite. This total, however, is down to 216.
Yeah, Heat 2-1 over the last 3 games here, scoring 118 points a game. Suns 1-2 over their last 3 and only putting up 104 points as of late. Heat 4-0 against the spread the last 4 games here, scoring more than 125 points their previous game. I think the Heat will go ahead and win and cover this one.
Okay. Phoenix has done pretty well covering spreads too of late, 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. You mentioned Miami's cover streak, but it wasn't early on, right? I mean, they were really bad, but still pretty bad for the season with a lot of spread losses so far. So Phoenix just 1-3-1 to the under on the road. They are 8-4 straight up, but just 2-3 on the road. I think that kind of favors what you're saying there, Mindy, as far as that's concerned. For me, I'm not sure I can play Miami right now with Phoenix looking a little better. We know that Paul is questionable for this game. Usually with these out, that's kind of an issue, but Tyler Hero also questionable. So for me, and Scotch has got some stats for us. Let's pop those up on the screen, and I'm going to tell you Phoenix first in points allowed and 27th in pace of play, and he likes the under. Well, I was just about to give out the over, so me and Scotch are going to go against one another here in this one. I have just a slight lean to the over, and I might have something on the side here actually moving forward. So, all right, got 2 plays there as well on that game.
Challenge Ramon versus Butterscotch.
Ages in the house. Seaman, I saw Seaman here as well. Appreciate you. Nice to have you. All right. All right, now we're taking a look at the Thunder and the Celtics. I'm showing this one the Celtics are -11. The total is 230. No change, but this one did open as low as 227.5. Took some steam to the over, Mindy.
Yeah, Thunder scored more points recently, 136 compared to 125 for Celtics. Thunder 5-1 against the spread in the last 6. Between these two, Thunder here 7-2 against the spread in the last 9 in Boston. I'll take the Thunder +11.
Well, I mean, why not? I mean, the Thunder have been pretty strong, especially 7-4 against the spread as an underdog. These two teams are combined 16-10 to the over this season, and Boston is 5-1 to the over at home. Boston, for all their success, just 5-5 against the spread in their last 10 games. I've got to think this one, for me, Mindy, I'm going to have to look probably at the Boston side. I'm going to lean Boston here, go against you in this one. I'm going to take him to cover the double digits in this one. Jaylen Brown probable in this one for Boston. So we'll be on opposite sides, and I'm going to be the one laying double digits. So how confident can I really be here? And you got Cages with you, so why not? All right. Probably looking at the total, I'm thinking about a premium in that one. So had to go against you. Because that's my side.
Right.
So,
Okay.
lean Boston. Lean Boston. All right, Clippers and Rockets in this one. The Clippers are a 5.5 point favorite, and this total is 220.5. I said there'd be a lot of moves, and there's not.
Yeah, right. The over 7-1 in the Clippers' last 8 Monday games, over 6-2 in the Rockets' last 8 home games. I'm gonna take the over to 20.5 here in this one.
Okay, Mindy. Yeah, fair enough. With these two teams, but I'm just worried because the Clippers are 2-11 to the under this season. But this is already the third meeting between these two teams. Both of the
That's
first
crazy.
two meetings did go under. It was 109-101. It was 95-93. But Houston, we know how bad they've been, right? 2-11 straight up this season. So I'm going to end up laying the Clippers on the road here in this one, despite the fact that they're just 4-7 as a favorite. Kawhi's out. That's fine. Moving forward, I mean, like I said to you, look, Kawhi likes Mexican food. Okay, he's not the same sleek player that can go flying through with a dunk, with long arms on defense, with the wides. His body has changed, sitting on all those taco
Tostadas.
benches. Yeah. Sitting at the taco benches at 2 o'clock in the morning, waiting for his order, and I really question whether Kawhi, as much as I really appreciated him in his career, I don't know. We're just here on a random Monday, but I'm going to say I don't know if we'll ever see that same Kawhi ever again. So, well, I said it. Prove me wrong, Kawhi.
I said
Prove
it.
me wrong. All right. What it's gonna take is
Mhm.
some fitness. It's gonna take some fitness. I mean, when you have problems with your knees, or you gotta lose weight. I mean, that's just something that they say. So, Scotch came in with a comment there. I just missed getting it up there. Sorry about that, Scotch. I know you typed in a lot of info there. So let's look at Atlanta and Milwaukee. Atlanta. This is one of the bigger movers. I'm showing Atlanta here now down to 4, and the total up to 223.5. That's probably because you know who's in there. Giannis. Oh, not Atlanta 4, of course, Milwaukee
R-
4. The wrong favorite. So the move is actually, pardon me, Minnie, the move is actually on Atlanta here, but the total has moved up to 223.5, and I think Giannis is in this one.
Gotcha.
Holiday out though.
Well, both these teams are pretty identical here statistically. But if I take a look at, some of the against the spread numbers, Hawks 11-4 in their last 15, following an ATS loss. Bucks are 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 Monday. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Hawks and the points here in this one today.
All right, Mindy, and I think that that's something that I can get behind in this one. Look, I know I just gave us a bum deal there, costing us a
Half
whole
a point.
point and a half. But like I said, I think the move here is on Atlanta. They're just 2-4 against the spread on the road. We know that Milwaukee, not only 2-10-2 straight up, but 9-2 against the spread. But Atlanta's been competitive. They are 5-1 to the over in their last 6. Milwaukee just 3-7 to the under in their last 10. So I don't know. For me, when I was trying to get on the total, I couldn't quite get to where I needed to be with the number. So let's go ahead and take Atlanta. We're only getting 4 points, but let's make that our first premium selection, our
Hey, we
premium
did it. We got
consensus
one. All
line.
right.
We needed one. I don't know. Maybe I was just a little gun shy. Not saying I'd ever just disagree on purpose. I went
No,
with my
because you
pick.
have plays too. I get
We're
it. I get it.
Yeah, they weren't on the same page, but Scotch is with us. So I think we've got an official consensus play here with Team Steam and one. San Antonio and Golden State in the last game here, and I'm showing Golden State down to 7.5. They're at home. Come on. Total 232.5. They'll win. They're at home.
Here, give me a second here on this one, Ramon. Give me a
Oh
second.
yeah, no
Because
problem.
remember, I couldn't find the line on this one, so I want to put it in here, my sheet, real quick.
Oh, okay. Well, let me talk about it for real quick then,
Yeah,
Mindy.
sure. Why not?
Maybe I could just cover my notes on it. You can make the pick, and then I'll unless you need me to make. But here, San Antonio, they have covered 3 straight, but they are just 1-2 straight up in those 3 games. Golden State 4-9 against the spread. We know that they end up kind of laying too many points, and they can't win on the road, but. They are 5-1 straight up at home in San Antonio, 8-5 against the number. Whatever you want to say about Pop, he's getting us the money. So I don't know, Mindy. Golden State's at home in this one. I mean, that's usually where they do their best work.
Yeah. So again, I tend to maybe lean the Warriors here a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and have my play be on the total. Unders 4-1. The Spurs last 5 overall, 5-1-1 the last 7 meetings here between these two as well. I had it at 229, so I like the 232 here even better. I'll go under today.
Well, then we've got 2 consensus plays. I'd like to hear what you have to say in the comments, but I like the under as well in this one, Mindy, with these 2 teams. There's not a lot of trendy stuff necessarily to go with it, but like I said, I think the Warriors are going to be stronger at home and play a little bit more defense at home. In this type of matchup with the Spurs, I think it's geared towards more of a lower scoring game. Cages says, give him the Spurs in this one. I don't know. Like I said, Pop's getting the money, but with those covers right now, and maybe the Warriors just aren't getting these big numbers, and also Cages loves the under. So we've got our 2 consensus
Yay!
plays in the NBA. So under 232.5 in this one. Look, I think the Sharps are going to be on the over in this game, and I'm going to fade them here. So we've got 2 in the NBA tonight.
Sounds good.
All right. Okay, well, we know we've got hockey, and but we're going to stick with basketball just right now, I think, Mindy, as far
Okay.
as, because of the same
Because we're doing
sport.
basketball.
I could say, because it's the same sport, but really it's just because that's how I entered the. It's just easier with the
Right.
panels, with the graphics. Right. So, all right, let's get into it. We'll start with the top of the card, is what we're going to do today, and a good eclectic mix of games. How's that? Can you have one in handicapping? Anyways, we'll start with Maine and Boston College here, showing Boston College. Let's see if I can get us any updates here. I think there have been some moves on these games, but not this one. I'm showing 130.
Same. Okay.
Yep. It did open 135.5 up to 136.5 for what it's worth.
Okay. Yeah, Maine here averaging 78 points a game. Boston College about 74 there as well. Both of these teams have pretty decent, shooting percentages, about 43%. Also, it looks like, they shoot the 3 pretty well. Both of these teams here. I take that back. They do not shoot the 3 very well. Ranks them about 217th here in the nation. My apologies. So I'm going to go ahead and go under in this one, under the 136.5.
Well, let's start off with a consensus play here, Mindy. I like this one to go under 136.5. I would say that maybe our viewers could wait a little bit. The move looks like it's on the over, but I don't know. Sharps may keep this one down. I'm showing sharp action coming in at about a 2-1 pace right now on the under. So I don't know if it's a square move to the over. Maine lost and covered in that game against the Huskers, right, Mindy? 60.
That's right.
It was 79-66, but they were getting 21.5 points. That game went under. So, Boston College, a 20-point favorite here. And now it is a lower total than that game. That game did have a pretty high total. But Boston College, 0-2 against the spread. Both those games were at home. Maybe Maine can stay in here. And I don't think they would necessarily do it with scoring. So let's go under in this one, 136.5. We've got a premium consensus to start us off in college basketball.
There we go. Keep our streak alive from yesterday. 1-0.
Okay, I'll take it. Delaware State and Villanova. This looks awkward, but it's an interesting regional matchup, certainly, with Villanova here. And I'm showing Villanova is up to a 36-point favorite, the total 137.
Yeah, Delaware State, whooped up on their last, subdivision opponent, 104-67, but lost their previous one to Virginia Tech, 95-57. Big 38-point loss there. Delaware State, one of the, I would say maybe arguably one of the worst D1 teams in the country, playing better division or competition. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Villanova here to cover this one, even though it's pretty huge. Minus 36. Nope, I think you might be on mute, perhaps.
All right. Yeah, I was.
There you go.
Taking a drink a little bit there. Sorry. Anyways, Mindy, yeah, I mean, you're not getting the worst of it here. I mean, Villanova, I show a line that opened as high as 37 points, although maybe it dipped back down to about 135 and a half before it went back up. So I don't know, at 137, that seems to be going up. I kind of think I respect this move. I'm going to end up on the over here. Delaware State, you mentioned how bad they are. They lost that game to Virginia Tech by 38 points at plus 34, and that game went over. Villanova, meanwhile, 0-2 against the spread. They lost that game to Temple in a Big Five matchup. And of course, Villanova stormed the court twice in that game, but they were stoked to win. 68-64. Villanova was favored there, and that game went to 132 points. But I don't know. I think Villanova can dictate here. And if Delaware State lost to Virginia Tech 95-57 for a total of 152 points in that one, why wouldn't this one go at least to 140 something? I would think. I'll take over as my free play. And Mindy says, take Villanova. All right. Good games, Mindy. Florida, Atlanta, good. Not part of the handicap isn't always to flip a coin right on a pick 'em. Give you a little
right.
Okay, Florida, Atlantic, and Florida here in this one, and I'm showing Florida in this one is a favorite, and minus 14 or so currently. I'm showing Florida minus 12 and a half, total 145.
Yeah, I mean, Florida 2-0 on the season, scoring 84.5 points a game. FAU 1-1, lost to Ole Miss 80-67. But they're averaging about 74 points here on the season here thus far. Florida really hasn't faced much competition, so it's kind of like you don't really know what you're going to get out of them here as of yet. I think Florida Atlantic here can stay within the 12.5 points. I'll take them. FAU here plus 12.5.
All right, I'll jump in with you on the Owls. Why not? Yeah, I mean Florida won but failed, laying about 20 points. What you got a problem with Kennesaw not respecting the Kennesaw? They only lost by 10 points.
So I have a beef with Kennesaw, Ramon. You should know that. Well, maybe you won't, but okay. I played Kennesaw in the Women's College World Series for softball, and they beat us. They finished first, and we finished second, like 2 years in a row. So I'm still not a Kennesaw State, Georgia fan at all whatsoever.
Deep wounds. I didn't know what I was getting into there. I'm just making flippant jokes on the fly, and Mindy has a problem with Kennesaw, but again, they did get the money. Scored 78 points against Florida, right? So even though Florida did win their game and beat Sunshine U or somebody like that in that other game when they met Kennesaw, they couldn't get it done. So FAU lost as a 6.5 point dog at Mississippi by 13 points. So not sure yet what's going to be up with the Owls, but I think at this increased price, I'm willing to take a shot with them here at plus 12.5. It opened 11.5, went to 13. Now we're seeing some buyback. I think that looks good. Let's take the Owls and give us a second consensus play in college basketball.
I like it a lot.
Ages also here says, let's do it. All right. You guys got to set us straight. Yeah, after yesterday, we ended our weekday winning streak on the weekend here. Okay, now we've got a
We win all
real.
week and then we lose on
Oh,
the
I don't
weekend.
want to keep dwelling. Uh,
It
again,
happens. It happens.
let's take a look at DePaul and Minnesota here. This is a close game you've picked for us here, Mindy, with Minnesota just a slight favorite here in this one. And there are no DePaul is now the move is
What?
on
It
DePaul. Yep,
flipped? How could that be?
DePaul is a 1.5 point favorite, 1.5, and it's even possibly going higher. I'm seeing it juiced. I'm seeing a few twos tick in right there, and the total in this one is down to 134.5 from 136.5. So the move is on DePaul. The move is on the under.
I guess I'm a mover and shaker, Ramon. I'm taking DePaul in this one. They're putting up 158 points here, so far this season, ranked 26th in free throw percentage here as well. Blue Demons 5-1 in the last 6 road games. I like DePaul. I'll take them -1.5.
All right, Mindy says take the Blue Demons against Minnesota. Don't mean to, give you a bad number, but I think everyone can see if they're watching the odds board there that the move is on DePaul. Look, they did fail both their first 2 games against Western Illinois, against Loyola Maryland, despite getting the win. They were a double-digit favorite, though, in those games, Mindy. They weren't up necessarily. And in this one, Cages says, follow the move. That's one of my favorite sayings. People say, I'm a steam chaser. I know people are going to look down on me a little bit like that. But quite frankly, I'm a market handicapper, try to get out in some of these moves. I mean, look, I can't, one person can't out handicap. They can out handicap the general public, but they can't out handicap the sharp action. You can try to investigate. You can get ahead of the move if you have the pick on that, which I like to do as well. But again, when the line's already moved, you got to investigate for some reason. So Scotch says maybe somebody's out for Minnesota. I think I did check the injury report on that. Maybe I can come up with something real quick, but I'll just add that, Jamison Battle, I mean, he's still out for Minnesota in this one. So he's a key player, no doubt about it. And I think he was probably expected out before this line move. So I don't know. Maybe though the general public is starting to get wind of him still missing action here in this one. I don't know. That's probably not the best spot for me. I just react to the move, and you see the move way to the under in this one, 134.5. That's off of a high of 138.5. This was a premium play for me, Mindy, but now I'm going to give it out here on the show as an under. Minnesota, both their games did go under so far when they failed against the spread against, I think it was either Western Michigan or might have been Wisconsin, Milwaukee. It was one of those WM schools, and they also covered versus St. Francis of New York. Both of those did go under. So both teams 2-0, rated pretty close. But Mindy says take DePaul -1.5. I'll say go under 134.5. Got a couple of plays for you.
There you
We're
go.
going to go over 8 games here, including this one, with South Carolina State going up against Duquesne. And Duquesne in this one is favored, Mindy, and they're favored by 18, I believe, and the total at 142. Go ahead. There may be an update.
Yeah, I mean, South Dakota State, they're not really any, joke, scoring 69 points. Duquesne, 71.5. Duquesne had one game against Kentucky in which they scored 52. But other than that, they're putting up a big 91. I mean, they can put some points on the board here. I think they're going to come out ready to shoot, hitting 46% from the floor right now. I think I'm going to go over the total of 141.5.
Okay, well, I think I just bonused you half a point there.
You did. I was at 142.5. That's right.
Yeah, to pump you up a little bit there. Yeah, I mean, I think this one could be a little bit close to the number. I think as it goes up, though, I'm going to be leaning towards South Carolina State, but I think I like this one to go over the number as well. Mindy, Duquesne won and covered that game versus Montana. That was an over. They failed that game versus Connecticut, but Kentucky, but that was Kentucky. So South Carolina covered against South Carolina, but then failed their next game. I think it was against Tennessee State. And so let's go over. Let's make it a premium consensus play. Third one, college hoop. Maybe this is our moment because I don't know, the board's manageable to me. I was a little intimidated on the weekend. That's all.
Right.
Couldn't believe the NFL. All right, Idaho State. That catch was just amazing. Everybody's still talking about it. Idaho State here on the road against Utah. Utah, big favorite here, and why not? Utah's favored by 21. Now make it 22. Total is 134.
The Utes here 2-0 on the season, only allowing 46 points this season. On average here for their opponents. They're also shooting 31% from the field. But I think Idaho State might be a little bit more of a challenge than those that they've faced here so far. They do attempt a lot of three-pointers. And last time out, they went 23 for 30 from three-point arc. I think they can stay within the points here. I like Idaho State today at plus 22.
All right. Well, I might be square. I'll probably lay the points. I'm thinking this one. I'm scared. I've got Utah maybe winning this one by somewhere in the mid-20s, but I do have also this game probably going closer to about 140 points maybe. I know that both teams are a combined 0-3 to the under so far. Utah, though, they've done a nice job covering both games so far. Idaho State lost, but they did cover those 23.5 points against BYU. Close game, and it was just 60-56 against the Cougs. So, maybe Utah is probably a little better than BYU this season, but hey, not much. I mean, the spread's almost the same. So, in fact, this spread is lower. So maybe Mindy's onto something there. But I'm going to go over with Idaho State and Utah over 134.5. Mindy says take Idaho State, the Bengals, and take them plus 22. Yeah, extra. I see. I sometimes give you some points. Okay, right. I'm not Scrooge.
You're kind on a Monday morning.
I'm not Scrooge over here. Okay.
I'll be the judge of that.
Northern Iowa, Mindy or Panthers going to be taking on the Cavs here. Virginia, 15.5. This total, boy, for a Virginia game, this looks like a track meet, but it has gone down from 127 to 125.5. Maybe the bookmakers just forgot who Virginia was.
Yeah, I think, Northern Iowa struggled offensively and defensively this season here, so far. If I take a look at some of just their, efficiencies, like according to Ken Palm, that sort of thing, Northern Iowa, they have the 119th worst defense, and Virginia has the 8th highest offense. So I'll take that matchup any day of the week here. I think Virginia can cover this minus 15.5.
All right. Mindy says take Virginia minus 15.5. It opens 17.5. I kind of like Virginia here, Mindy, as well. Northern Iowa lost and failed in that game against Richmond, 68-55. Virginia did win, but failed to cover a bigger number than this in that game against NC Central. 73-61, laying 24 points. So maybe this one is a little bit more manageable. Let's go on Virginia here. I don't know. I think Northern Iowa could end up being kind of a trendy dog here. I don't know. Maybe public will see the name Virginia and still be on them. But I'm on them with you. Let's take Virginia minus 15.5. Yeah. Butler and Penn State in this one. I'm showing a big move. Butler has been taking action all morning long. They have been slammed by the Sharps. There's just no doubt about it here. Can't see everybody rushing to their computers at 5 in the morning to get on Butler, but some lines opened up as high as Penn State 12 in this game, and Butler has taken all sorts of action. The total is up to 140. So terrible number, but Butler looks so live to even win this game, maybe.
Yeah, I like Butler. Penn State, they're putting up 90 points a game, but Butler is also putting up, I don't know, 89 this season. They barely lost to a really good Providence team there as well. I think Butler here can definitely keep this one close. I'm going to take them plus the 5.5.
All right. Mindy says take Butler plus 5.5 in this one. I'm just so worried. I mean, that line has been just such a crazy mover in my mind in this one. It really is kind of worries me a little bit in this one. So for me, I'm going to end up on the over in this game. I think it looks like a great price at 140. I like what I see from Butler right now. I think Penn State also pretty decent. Look, Butler won and covered against New Orleans, 89-53, laying 18.5. Penn State, they're 2-0 against the number. Both those games did go over against Loyola Maryland and my Winthrop team. So I'll take over 140 here. Mindy says take Butler plus 5.5. That should be a
Yeah,
good
see,
one.
they have New Orleans as the UNO team on the app most
Or
of the time.
did I say is it
No, you're right. Because
Oh.
so I went. My school is Nebraska Omaha, so we call it University Nebraska Omaha, so UNO. But
Yep.
you said you'd like to put what? Nebo?
I'm sorry if that is insulting to
No,
the
it's
folks
not.
in Omaha.
But I didn't notice until today that when they put up University New Orleans that they
Okay.
are the UNO, so they had to find a distinction, and so it is that.
Well, when I make my notes, and I have some notes here. I mean, I'm not reading all this off the top of my head, obviously, but I use usually 4-letter acronyms for every college. Every college has 3 or 4 letters of that are just to shorten it
Acronym.
up a
Yeah.
little bit. So for me, Nebo. You were saying Nebraska basketball at Omaha, but I meant Nebraska, Omaha, Nebo.
Right. So I just thought of you today when I saw New Orleans that they had them as UNO. I was like, oh, okay. I get it, Ramon. I get it now. I get it.
No, when you say Omaha and UNO, I know what you're talking. That's why it scared me because
Because I'm
I was
saying
just
UNO.
reading my notes and I put NO, N
Nebraska.
NO for New Orleans. So, anyways, okay. So I gave you 2 picks on that game, and I think we got a couple more. Holy Cross and Creighton here. We're going to Mindy country right back. So, again,
That's
here,
right.
Creighton. Creighton's on the move, Mindy, though. They're now favored by 29.5, and the total is 141.5. Creighton taking the action here.
Yeah, I mean the other Omaha team, right? I'm going to take the over here in this one. They can both put up the points here. Creighton's averaging about 84, 76 for Holy Cross. Overs 5-1 for the Crusaders here as well. I know Creighton sometimes is an under team, but I think just with this matchup today, they'll be okay with the over today.
We're hot, Mindy. I hope this is a great day because I like the over as well. I think Creighton really. I think they could smash them. I think they really can take this one by 30 or more. Who wants to lay that? But Holy Cross did fail in their game against Siena, but they were just a 1.5-point dog in that one. That one did go over 75-68. Meanwhile, Creighton, they did cover 30 points, right, in that game. So they did fail against the Tommies at laying 28 points. So
Yeah,
I don't know. They're kind of a coin flip so far, laying these big numbers and laying the big tax there. I kind of still like them. Probably not going to make my premium board. Might throw a few bucks on it or something, but I like the over for sure in this one. Creighton to smash Holy Cross and maybe even get the money here. Let's go over. We got another one, Mindy.
All right.
It
Here
looks
we
like
go.
our action's going to be in college basketball today.
Right. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. As long as we can get some winners. We don't care where they come from.
Well, it feels like, I don't know. It feels like the handicaps are right. I mean, it feels right. It feels right. All right. UCLA now, they're 20 and a half, and this total is down to 141, just down a tick or so here.
Yeah, and that's where I was looking towards the under. This Norfolk team likes to play defense, and UCLA, I think, will kind of wind up doing the same. Should be close. I mean, I think it's going to be one of those 75, 50 games, something like similar to that Sacramento State game. I like the under here, Ramon.
All right, Mindy's on the under in this one. Yeah, for me, I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at my database. I've got it at 20 and 141. I'm just going to take a pass. I don't know if I've been
Too close to call,
well.
huh?
Hey, look, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll analyze any kind of move that comes in. I don't want to say to anyone that if it moves 3 points one way to take that side, but right now I'm going to take my first pass of the day, and Mindy's going to give to the under. So, all right.
All right.
Great job. Great job. Wow. You want to read? I can recap if you want.
Oh, look, our chat came alive.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So there
hey,
are
there are
people
people.
watching. I thought
Yeah.
we had nobody here.
I know. That's the
Thought this was
rumor.
our last show. I thought Tony pulled the plug or something on us. Anyways, Mindy, we mentioned Atlanta. We took Atlanta +4 in the NBA. We also took under 232.5, I believe, in San Antonio and Golden State. In the colleges, we have a big card coming. Maine, BC under 136.5. Florida Atlantic +12.5. South Carolina State and Duquesne over 141.5. Virginia -15.5, and Holy Cross and Creighton over 141.5.
Nice.
All right. Good thing you didn't. Good thing you didn't have us preview 20 games. We'd really be throwing down.
Well, we have to try to keep this show maybe under 2 hours, so we're at around 30 total today. So figure we have to take our spots with college basketball there.
Okay, well, one thing we don't pick our spots in, we just handicap every game in the National Hockey League every day. There's only a 4-game card, but it's a fun card. Let's start to get into that and try to call up my goalies here as well, see what's going on. See, I think I'm all prepared, in the last second I'm not. I'm sorry, how unprofessional. Anyways, let's start it off with the Islanders are going on the road here to take on Ottawa. And we have seen a bit of a move, I think, in this one. In fact, I think we might have, the Islanders are definitely the favorite, but it did open around a pick 'em or so at some outlets. So, if anything, there has been a move on the Isles. They're favored by about $1.20 or less, and the total is down a little bit, 6/20.
Yeah, I mean, Sorokin, he's only allowing 2.17 goals here. Islanders 15-5-1 versus the Senators in the last 21. Also, they're 5-2 on the road here this season. I will be taking the Islanders in this matchup.
All right, Mindy says go with the Isles in this one, and I'm going to I've got a premium right now. I'll tell you that right now, Mindy, already locked and loaded on Tony'sPicks.com for $15. Head on over to our website, use the promo code TonyT at checkout, save 20% to get my total. I'm pretty hot in hockey, despite our self-deprecating performance of late that I'm lamenting. I'm still hitting about 65% in the NHL in my premium plays. So Ottawa 1-7 in the last 8. Scotch says we know the Islanders have been hot. I think Scotch is trying to give me a warning here. Islanders 8-2 in their last 10. Ottawa 0-6 as an underdog. But they are 4-2 on the puck line. Still, you're going to be laying a pretty big price today. Sorry, Scotch. You and I are going to be in disagreement. I'm going to take Ottawa to surprise here against the Islanders. I know the Islanders will be popular at the window today. They're playing well. I'm going to take Ottawa at home with Talbot. All right, and I got a premium, so
So you can't give out the side. I get it. I get it.
all right.
I know how this works.
Well, Mindy gave you the Islanders. I gave out Ottawa.
Challenge Ramon, Mindy versus
Well,
Ramon.
you won our hockey challenge yesterday, so maybe Scotch and Mindy. All right, the Kings here against Calgary, and the Kings are an underdog, one of the hottest teams. They are down. Calgary is down to $1.50, though, I will say, and the total is 6/15.
Yeah, big under trends here for the Flames versus the Kings. Unders 5-7-3 and 33-14-4. Unders 4-1 in the Flames. Last 5 following a win here as well. I like the under 6 in this one.
All right, Mindy says go under 6 with Kings in Calgary. It worries me a little bit just because of Kings. They're 6-1-1 to the over on the road, so I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think I can quite get with you on that one. Gosh, Kings have been so hot. They've won 4 straight, 7 of 9, but they have failed the puck line. But that's been, sometimes they're favorites, sometimes they're underdogs because even though they're 10-6, they've been underdogs several times. That's why they're one of the more profitable teams right now. Calgary did defeat Winnipeg finally to end that losing streak. So I don't know. I kind of like the move on LA. I'm going to take the Kings again. Go my Kings. I'm going to take them on the road at plus $1.30, $1.35 or so. That looks pretty good. But Mindy does say take the over in LA and Calgary. Under. I'm sorry. Yes, under.
Obviously, your notes are all under. Good job, Ramon.
Yeah, well, maybe I did. I did look. I was looking at the fact. I did read off the note about LA 6-1-1 to the over on the road. They are scoring.
LA is an over team. Yes, that is true.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I get it. I get it. And no confirmed goalies at all in any of these games at this point. So I'm trying to just leave up my projections here in this. I think the projections have been okay so far on the goalies. I'd say it's been about 80 to 90% of the time it's been right. So Carolina and Chicago here. In Chicago, Carolina about 225, maybe even a little higher. The total is sneaking up, however, to 6/15, going up just a little bit.
Yeah, so Hurricanes versus Blackhawks here. Hurricanes 15-5-2 in the last 22. Carolina here also 5-3 on the road here this season. They're 20th in goals. Those Blackhawks are 29th in goals for here as well. I like the Blackhawks here. I'm going to take them at plus 1.5 at the minus 145 odds.
Okay, Benny says take the Blackhawks on the puck line against those Carolina Panthers. Yeah, I mean, I favor Carolina Hurricanes, whatever their name is. Carolina Hurricanes on the road against the Blackhawks. Carolina 8-3 as a favorite. Chicago just 6-8 as a dog, but that doesn't 6-8 as a dog getting plus 200 or even 190. That's going to be a profitable situation. I mean, there's no doubt about that, Mindy. So I don't mind that necessarily. It looks like Scotch says under in this game. Not quite sure, but Carolina 3-6 to the under on the road. So far. So I don't know. At 6, I think I'm going to end up going over in this one. Chicago, they might be a public dog today, Mindy, with you, but I don't mind that at that price. But
I just can't do minus 225 there on Carolina.
I get it.
I don't like Carolina. I like the Blackhawks better on the puck line than I do Carolina. So that's the reason why I'm going that way.
Well, Chicago's still slightly over 500. They are at home. Carolina's been a profitable, a 9-5-1 record. So, but I'm going to go over 6. I'm going to disagree. Is that another? Oh my gosh! I hope Scotch doesn't bail on us because I think I've just disagreed with him in 2 straight picks. But I will go over 6. Most of my most of my model has a lot of decibels on there with 6.5. So I don't know. Carolina, like I said, 3-6 to the under on the road, but I'll take over 6 tonight. Okay, St. Louis and Colorado here. Colorado, big favorite, but they are down to about a $1.90 or so. So maybe because St. Louis is so hot, all of a sudden with their two glorious victories, total 6.5 under 15. Uh, we talked about the win over San Jose, but then they got a win over Vegas.
That's right. So yeah, I mean, I like the under in this one. Both are playing well, especially on defense here. Only allowing 3 goals in the last 4 games. Under is 5-1 for the Avalanche in the last 6 on one day's rest here as well. So yeah, I'll take a shot at the under in this one.
All right, Mindy says go under in this one with St. Louis and Colorado at 6.5 under 15. Well, can't necessarily agree or disagree because I've got a premium on the total in this game. So, but I think Mindy can give a good pick out here if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I think Colorado 4-1 so far at home. St. Louis just 2-8 last 10 against the puck line. St. Louis 1-5 to the under as a dog, but I will caution they are 6-3-1 to the over in their last 10. So maybe some mixed signals there. Maybe I'm giving out mixed signals
I think you are.
in that game, so I don't give away the house here. But I don't know. For me, I was kind of looking at the maybe the Blues here to be competitive in this one. It could be a close game, actually. I mean, uh, like I said, playing just a little bit better. So I'm going to take St. Louis on the puck line here, Mindy, plus 1.5. And that'll be also minus $1.45. So Mindy gives out the under 6.5. I'll give out St. Louis on the puck line in this one. And that's a look at the hockey card. So that's all of today's action as far as games being played today, tonight. We are going to go over this week's college football. So get your pens, pencils, and rotation order ready. And it's time to start with the weekday college football, Mindy, and that means mostly your favorite Maction.
Mostly, yes. Keyword mostly.
Yeah, everyone loves the Maction, don't they? So, all right, let's get ready. You got my notes square. Let's call up the lines. Even though probably not as many moves in these games, although there have been some this morning, and we'll start it off with Bowling Green and Toledo in this one. And I'm showing Toledo a 15.5 point favorite, and the total's up to 51.
Oh, geez, this Bowling Green team, they continue to have troubles on both sides of the ball. Toledo has an above average offense and looking to get into the MAC title game here. I'll take Toledo in this one, minus 15.
All right. Well, sounds pretty good. Mindy says take the Toledo Rockets and lay the 15 points against Bowling Green. Teams are combined 7, 12, and 1 against the spread. Toledo is 5-2 at home against the spread. Bowling Green 4-0 to the over on the road. Toledo's won the last 2 meetings by a combined score of, get this, Mindy, 82-20.
No way.
So Toledo's dominated. They are 7-3. Bowling Green still 5-5. They've done an okay job here. I'm going to go with the under in this game. I think the total's just gone a little bit too high in this one. My window cover is about 47-53. So I don't know. That's kind of right in the middle. But I've got the under in this one. Ohio Bobcats. They're down to a 3.5 point favorite. The total 53.5. So there has been some movement here. By the way, I just want to say that when I give out these lines, I'm using Mindy knows what I'm talking about. I don't promote any sports books on here, but I am using the exact sports book that mimics one of the lines that we use in entering our picks. The most one of the most popular offshore sports books. So when I show these lines on the screen, this is pretty much the lines that
They're cutting Ramon off.
make our picks in.
The bookmakers are listening to Ramon right now and cutting him off from saying any sort of names or anything, I think, on this one.
Did you hear that, Mindy? Oh,
no, I didn't.
There we go.
I said the bookmakers are cutting you off, Ramon.
Clear on that.
Oh, you're kind of coming back a little bit sometimes.
Slow
Maybe.
here.
There you go. Might be back.
Yep.
All right.
I am. So we clear on that? Did I make before I cut out? I make myself clear there.
Well, you were saying that you use one of the major offshore, bookmakers out there to come up with the lines because it mimics what we have to put in.
That's right. That's exactly right. Try to keep it as close to what we have to put our picks in against. I'm using that exact book. So when I move these lines for or against Mindy or myself, it's only because these are what when we make the picks in the back of the website. That ends up being
what our tracking
subscribers see. Sure.
Yeah, and our subscribers, correct.
Thanks for drawing that out while I get back here.
Yeah, so I like this Ohio offense. They put up 556 total yards and 7.1 yards per play last time out. Ball State having trouble moving the ball in any sort of way here. I'm going to go with Ohio -3.5.
All right, Mindy. Yeah, well, Ohio, they're on that cover streak right now, no doubt about it. They are on a massive cover streak, and they're 7-3 against the spread right now for the season to match their 7-3 straight up record. Ball just 5-5, but Ball 2-3 against the number at home. Ohio 3-0 as a favorite. So also Ohio 3-0 to the over in those games that they've covered as a favorite. I think the game's going to be a little bit more competitive, Mindy, and I better maybe pull if I'm going to play it like I was thinking about playing it, I might want to play it, but sooner rather than later. You're getting the best of the number, and maybe people who are listening to Mindy's might actually wait and could lay a small number. Actually, the way this is moving, it opened 6. It's now 3.5. But I like what Mindy was saying about the offenses here, and I've got this one well into the. Actually, quite frankly, I think this one could get to well into 60 points. I think in this one, Mindy, we'll see some crazy action in this one, and I think over is going to be my call in this game. So yeah, I think I've got it. High 50s at worst case scenario. So
Gotcha.
Okay. Eastern Michigan and Kent. And in this one, I'm showing right now, Kent is down to 7 and the total down to 61.
Yeah, Eastern Michigan has won 4 straight games on the road now this season, and Kent State's been, pretty bad defensively. Golden Flashes here, they're 1-6 against the spread in the last 7 conference games, 1-5 against the spread. The last 6 overall. I will be taking Eastern Michigan +7.
All right, yeah, EMU 4-1 against the spread as an underdog. Kent's 2-4 against the spread as a favorite. Kent 1-5 to the under as a favorite. They've gone under in 3 straight. I think this one might go under, but I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to tag along with Mindy here, and I'm going to take Eastern Michigan plus those 7 points. Like I said, EMU, they've got the better record. They're 6-4. Kent's 4-6. Kent, not a very good favorite. EMU, pretty good covering the spread as a dog. Seems like a pretty good setup for me. I'll take Eastern Michigan with you, Mindy. Give us our first premium college play of the week in the MAC. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, wish my numbers were kind of was I'm going trendy on that with those kind of those trends, the fact that you liked it because my numbers kind of fall in line as far as the side is concerned, but probably going to be on the under. Okay, Miami of Ohio going up against Northern Illinois, and in this one I'm showing Northern Illinois up to a 2.5 point favorite now, total 48.
Yeah, I'm going to go under here in this one. Neither team has a very, up tempo style offense. They rank 115th and 127th in total offense. Miami, Ohio is also 254th and third down efficiency here as well. So I'll take the under in this game, under
All
48.
right, well, looks like we'll have ourselves a little bit of a Mackey Wednesday because I'm going to take the under with you in Miami of Ohio and Northern Illinois. You know what, Miami they are 0-5 to the under on the road this season. Now, and I use 4-0 to the over at home this season. So, those are kind of conflicting trends, certainly. But NIU 0-5 as a favorite against the number. And I know Mindy's favorite quarterback is going to be out of this game. So,
That's right.
I think that's also one of the reasons why Mindy maybe thinks that the under might come in because I know that, one of the better quarterback. Maybe it's been a disappointing season for him because he hasn't been able to stay healthy and all that. In Northern Illinois these teams having a weak season right now, both combined 7-13 straight up. So NIU not only 0-5 as favorites against the spread, but 0-4 of those at home. So here they are laying points. I think it goes under. Mindy, I'll agree with you. Go under 48 in this one. Give us a second pick on Wednesday. All right.
Hey, we're
See if we
killing it.
can. Hey, we might make it a Wednesday 3-pack. Let's see what Mindy has to say about this one. With Central Michigan favored, it's up to 10.5, and the total is up to 50.
Well, I'm looking at this one as, Central Michigan has not covered a spread of, I had it at plus 10 all season long, and just really not lighting up anything here on offense. I'll be taking Western Michigan plus 10.5 in this one.
All right. Mindy's on the Broncos here. Take Western Michigan, she says. And
I thought this one went as low as 9 there for a while. So that's why I put in that spread of the plus 10 in there with the caveat.
No. Oh no, it's definitely on the move. I don't know how much higher it will go, but I mean, I'm showing an opener as low as 8, and now up to 10.5. So, if anything, I think that, will it go higher? I'm not sure, but again, the move I think is clearly on Central Michigan in this game. Now, Central Michigan is 1-3-1 against the spread at home, and Western Michigan's 3-2 against the spread on the road. Kind of negligible, but still the trends kind of favor the Broncos, as you said. And Central Michigan also 1-4-1 against the spread as a favorite. Many of those coming in those home games. So for me, Western Michigan 1-4 to the under on the road this year. Last year it was a crazy one. Central Michigan won that one 42-30 at WMU as a 10-point dog. But for me, this move to 50, it opened as high as 53. I'm going to go. I'm under in this game with Western Michigan and Central Michigan under the 50 points. And that's going to be my pick. And Mindy said take Western Michigan plus 10.5. Thank everyone for being here, hanging around, getting your college football ready to go for the week. SMU and we're out of MAC, we're out of the action, but SMU and Tulane, this will be the only game on Thursday. Well, I mean, there's one other. There's, I think, Southeast Louisiana is going up against Nichols. I see here in another game off the big board. But in this one, SMU is getting the points from Tulane. Tulane -3. They finally came back down to earth a little bit last week, and the total here is That was just a typo on the screen here. I don't think it was ever 60.5, Mindy. And
Okay.
and obviously that Tulane was not favored by 13. So Tulane's favored by 3, total 65.5. Oh, I see. I had it right confused with the South Florida Tulsa game right below it. Probably
Oh,
because I used those. We were talking about the acronyms, and to me, Tulane on my writing is TUL, and Tulsa is TULS. So cut me
gotcha.
some slack there.
Yeah, Tulane 8-2 in the last 10, or 8-2 this season, and I think I had that as against the spread. I cannot
Yeah, well,
read
no,
my
actually,
handwriting.
no, here it is. Mindy, they're 8-2 straight up and against the spread. So
There we go.
maybe
Maybe that's what I had down, right?
that's well,
And
that's I
six
mean
and one, and
that's huge. That's huge.
and they're also 6-1 as a 3-point or larger favorite.
Okay.
So I like Tulane and its 29th ranked defense here to get this one done.
No, I mean, I can't blame you necessarily. I mean, they're just been terrific so far. I mean, yes, they did finally come back down to earth in that UCF game to end their hot streak. They lost to the Knights 38-31. SMU's covered 4 straight, including a 3-game winning streak right now. So SMU doing pretty good, but they are 1-3 against the spread as a dog. This one, Mindy, we're gonna have a little heads up action. We gotta have one heads up game, and this is gonna be it in college football, at least for the weekday games. I'm gonna take SMU. You take Tulane. Let's see here.
Challenge.
So somebody's gonna win that one, Richie.
That's right. It's someone in a black shirt.
What do you think about them taking away the black shirt? Is that a big deal? The Huskers
Well, I
and
mean, I think it's a big deal, but again, that was something that was, created in like, late 80s, early 90s. So I mean, if you're used to that, tradition, sure. So someone like me that's, late 40s, that would impact them, but someone that's 20 years old probably don't care at all because we really
okay,
haven't had much of a defensive team since, I don't know, 2005-ish. So
fair enough. No,
I like the tradition. I think you're kind of the same way as me when it comes to stuff like that. I like traditional things when it comes to sports, and I think we're getting away from that a lot more nowadays.
yeah. Well,
Kind of
nowadays
looks
you
like
gotta
more
have
of
fancy chains and sledgehammers and they might as well put like LED lights on them and stuff when they do something.
but it was
Some
always
of them are.
a really big deal. Like it was really prestigious to wear a black shirt. I mean, it was a huge deal. And so again, I think we just kind of gotten away from that culture at Nebraska a little bit. I mean, not that I can blame everyone because you kind of have to keep up with the times as well. You can't stay stuck also. But for me, I kind of wish it comes back, but I don't know how much it would impact these younger players.
Yeah, maybe that's what's getting away from us. Like I said, they got their own stuff right now, their own gimmicks, if you will. But
Well, and then
even
it's like
some,
every game has a trophy now too. Like it just seems,
yeah,
I don't know.
perpetual trophy. I don't know. I kind of
You
kind of
like
dig
those?
those. Well, yeah.
It's the
I know
winner of the pig trophy. Yeah.
one matchup out here in high school, they'd play for a tumbleweed. That one's weird. Okay,
That
South
is
Florida.
like, is it a bronze tumbleweed
Yeah, it
or
is. It's all
one that
now.
they
It's all
find
like it's like this
rolling
huge,
down the
like
street?
really weird. Yeah, South Florida and Tulsa. Tulsa in this one favored. See, here's Tulsa.
Yeah,
13 total is 60. So I was just a half asleep when I typed them in. That's all.
I don't blame you. You have to get up way early. But yeah, USF, what I think they've lost their last 5 now. They're having trouble. I mean, just even passing the ball, hard time on third downs, 0-5 against the spread. I think I have to go ahead and give the edge here to Tulsa, still covering this one here as they rank 64th in yards per game here as well.
Yeah, for me, Mindy. I mean, how is South? I mean, South Florida is just awful. I mean, how are they
I
going to
don't
score
know
enough
because I don't
points?
think of them as being a bad team.
Yeah, well, the teams are combined 6-14 against the spread. We know South Florida's 1-9 straight up. Tulsa 3-7 straight up. But USF 3-2 against the spread on the road. So I don't know. Watch out. Maybe Tulsa just 2-3 against the number at home. I know I've given out some. There was not a lot of trends and stuff, but I mean, when you have one team that's above 50%, the other one below 50%, and then the line opened 11, it's now 13. Kind of just giving you a little insight to the way I sometimes think about it when my numbers are kind of the same, but my number is not the same here on the total because I just don't think South Florida right now is doing enough offensively to get this number even close to 60 if they were to lose this game. I mean,
Right.
you know, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, I mean, we're looking at 42-17 or something. Well, that's probably no, that's too big of a margin. But 37-24. That can they get 24 points? I don't know if they can get 24 points. So Tulsa, they are 1-4 against the spread as a favorite. Maybe South Florida can get this money, but I'm going to go under. Of like under in this game. Maybe a premium here, but want to give it out. I like it pretty strong. I'll just say that. I like it pretty
All right.
strong. I like the
Pretty
under.
strong under.
Premium, little bit of freemium. I'd say this is probably one of my stronger. Take it for what it's worth, but probably the one I feel pretty strongly about with all these games we've gone through, other than our consensus plays, of course. But okay, well, Mindy made fun of Jalen Maiden, a San Diego State quarterback, but now he's hot and
What
safety
is he?
playing
Your former
quarterback.
linebacker, free safety? Which
Yeah.
one is it?
And now San Diego State's won 4 of 5 games. They're bowl eligible once again. Brady Hoke doing a great job. They brought in the quarterback coach that I like so much, and they're doing a real good job. But now they're going to go face Rocky Long, who knows a little bit about San Diego State and vice versa. So that makes an interesting game here with these two teams. It opened some openers as high as 17, most of the openers right here at 14, and that's where it sits right now, total 39.5.
Yeah, you'll have to give us some more of that, insider information here. But I like the Aztecs in this one. They're coming off that real nice performance versus, San Jose State. Only allowed 14 first downs in that game. New Mexico doesn't really have a lot of offense, especially a lot of offensive power. Like I don't really see them, being able to really crush them, to wear them down. I think this one's going to be tough for New Mexico. I think San Diego State here will cover.
I hope you're right. I mean, I don't want to lay 2 touchdowns with this team right now going up against Rocky Long and, with his type of defense. In fact, there's been a pretty strong move to the under in this game. There were
Yes.
some rogue numbers that were a little higher, and I think the perception is going to be to take the under in this game. San Diego State won last year's matchup 31-7. It's like a 20-point favorite. So teams are combined 7-12-1 against the spread. But I'm going to think because you see what's happened for some reason. San Diego State, Jalen Maiden, they're scoring points all of a sudden, and it's happening at the right time of the year for them. So I'm going to go over 39.5 is my free pick here. If San Diego State's going to win and cover by 14 or more, maybe they'll go in and pitch a shutout or something. Like I said, New Mexico only scored 7 points last year, but that was San Diego State was playing in Carson, California last year. There was no Snapdragon, Mindy, last year. They were playing for 2 years.
Snapdragon Stadium.
They were playing in 2 years where the Chargers played while they waited for that stadium to be built, and that was in LA. The San Diego State University played in LA for the last 2 seasons before the opening of Snapdragon. There's not even a stadium here that they tore down that old relic, and they don't even have anything where they could have we'll just play in the other stadium across town. No, that doesn't exist out here. So great show. Thank you, Mindy. Let's go over the website.
It was fun.
Tony'sPicks.com. Good show. Great show. Thanks everybody in the chat. Wow, just a really great show. Really. Thank you to you guys especially. So head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Check out the Handicapper leaderboards. See who's hot. I just happened to click on the monthly statistics.
Of course.
So I can be right there on the top. And yeah, I'm down to plus 2,600 units. I really need to have a nice couple of days here. Didn't see the board well. I kept my volume down over the weekend. Maybe that was the problem. I mean, that, when I'm throwing volume, that's when I'm putting up big numbers. And considering the amount of games, I really toned it back this weekend. And maybe that I thought that would be a way, a way to keep. I'm not trying to make it a contest. I'm trying to
Oh,
pick
yeah.
winners out there and trying to, put out good plays. But really just kind of stagnant over the weekend. So let's get back at it. Let's have some winners. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. And again, I got a play up for you right there. On the NHL early start. So get my play for my $15 play right there over at Tony'sPicks.com. And just want to thank everyone in the chat before we get out of here, Mindy. I want to thank
Yeah, for sure.
Scotch, Dom Robinson, Cages. John Lester was here, and he commented about the football game with Washington and Philadelphia. We covered at the beginning of the show, Dom, if John's still around. But we agreed and we took the Commanders, and I'm probably going to have a premium on the total, Mindy. So I don't know. Also want to thank for coming into the chat was Holbrook Scat Pack. It was great to have Holbrook Scat Pack in here talking about Spurs and Warriors. Maurice Walker joined us. Seaman was here as well. Crush, also Gerardo, Matt D. Great to see everyone in the chat today. Thanks to everyone. Blake was here checking in as well. And don't forget the Watchdog also was here, but he doesn't stick around for the winners. All right, Mindy. Great show. Appreciate it. And we'll catch you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll go more. We're going to get into Saturday's college football. Yep, plus all the daily sports as well. And we're just a week away, I want to mention, from the World Cup. And we'll be on the air every day. We're on the air, Minnie. There's going to be a World Cup game being played. I don't know if that floats your bubble or anything, but I just think it'll be interesting that there will be some really the world's biggest sporting event will be going on while we're on the air. And well, we don't have any plays yet, Mindy, but I just want to mention, I noticed that Qatar, the host country, is taking action in their opener against Ecuador, or maybe it's Ecuador taking the money from Qatar, if you know what I mean. Watch out for that first game with Qatar and Ecuador. There might be.
Ramon thinks the fix is in. The fix is in.
There's no room for that on this show on Tony's network. But I don't know. Watch out for Qatar.
I might put in my only soccer pick of the year right now.
we're going to be on Qatar against Ecuador.
We're doing it.
Ecuador will be able to feed their to support their families for the rest of their lives. They just go out there and give them this one win. All right. Thanks a lot, Minnie. Great job.
Right. Put it in the bank.
With more of the morning steam. For Minnie Hunt, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.